What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Daily Boosters, where we crack a product of magic together in every single weekend. I've been looking at the cards on my desk that I have left out, and a lot of them are bending. I don't understand why. I guess that's just any kind of cardboard material like this. Maybe I need to store them better, but I don't know. I leave cards on my desk that I'm currently collecting for decks and stuff like that. You can't see them obviously in the video, but there is quite a lot of cards on this desk. Maybe tomorrow I'll clean it up. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm off of work like every weekend, so we'll see. We are here. I'm about to head out to my buddy's house for UFC 227, I think it was. Dillashaw versus Garbrandt 2. Can't wait to see that. I'm more excited to see Demetrius Johnson defend his title again against Henry Cejudo. Hopefully he wins. I think he will. Gonna put some bets in on it, so wish me luck. Anyway, let's get into this quick Dragon's Maze event deck. Picked this up a couple weeks ago at my LGS. The right deck right now. Let's read it. So this is the I've been trying to pronounce this word. Now that it's on camera, I'm gonna butcher it. Celisna, strength of Celisna. Show your enemies the true strength of Celisna. Multiply your creatures to build an overwhelming force that will crush any defense. Prove to your foes that a single seed can spawn the mightiest army. So that makes me excited to see what is in this deck. You can read the top there for yourself. What it comes with is a 60 card deck and a life counter and a 15 card sideboard, and it says now with 10 rares. So let's get into it and see what kind of cards we will get. It is a white-green deck, I believe. It's green there and white there. I'm also thinking about, oh, that is awesome. Look at that. That is a neat little box. I'm also thinking about getting a booster box of a older set and maybe starting a mini series like every Sunday, opening some packs from it. Just a little something different. Nice Dragon's Maze life counter there. How about that? 13 is a little weird looking. That is pretty neat. Feels a little different too. Let's see what goodies we get. That's the sideboard as I hit the camera. That is a pretty thick packet, to say the least. So I'm not even going to open it. Just, you know what it is. You guys play Magic. And then a little bit about the deck as well. And then we got the deck. I hit the camera a couple times while opening that, so sorry about that. And I left the door open downstairs, and the dog is freaking out at the passerbyers. Alright, let's do this pretty fast. See the mechanics of the deck and all that good stuff. Doomed Traveler. When it dies, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. I think the rares are going to be in the middle somewhere. Then we got a Dryad Shaman 2/2. Vitu Ghazi Guildmage. So you can pay, put a creature token onto the battlefield. Populate. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of a creature token you control. 2 of those. First rare. Yep, that's a rare. Champion of Lamholt. 1/1 Human Warrior. Creatures with power less than Champion of Lamholt's power can't block creatures you control. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Lamholt. Second rare, Wayfaring Temple. It is an elemental. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever Wayfaring Temple deals combat damage to a player, populate. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of a creature token you control. So as you can already see, it is about spawning other creatures. Okay, we got a M13. Odric, Master Technician, legendary human soldier with first strike. Whenever Odric, Master Tactician, and at least 3 other creatures attack, you choose which creatures block this combat and how those creatures block. Pretty cool rare. Geist Honored Monk. It is a human monk with vigilance. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. So that's a couple rares. Maybe the rest are in the sideboard. We got Ransour. 2 of those. Wake the Reflections with Populate. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of a creature token you control. Yep, a whole play set of those. Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Four of those. Call of the Conclave. Put a 3/3 green centaur creature token onto the battlefield. Celestina Charm. Choose one. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn, or exile target creature with power 5 or greater. Put a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield. 2 of those, 3 of those, 4 of those. Lingering Souls. Put 2 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. So you kind of get the idea of this deck. 3 of those or 4, can't remember. Rootborn Defenses. Populate. Creatures you control are indestructible this turn. Oh, here's another rare. Let me get these cards in order. Parallel Lives. It is an enchantment. Pretty cool looking artwork. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. If an effect would put 1 or more tokens onto the battlefield under your control, it puts twice that many of those tokens onto the battlefield instead. So that is a pretty huge card for this deck. Another rare is Advent of the Worm. Put a 5/5 green worm creature token with trample onto the battlefield. Growing Ranks. At the beginning of your upkeep, populate. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of a creature token you control. Increasing Devotion. Put 5 1/1 white human creature tokens onto the battlefield. If Increasing Devotion was cast from a graveyard, put 10 of those tokens onto the battlefield instead. Wow. So you can play it from your graveyard for 7 mana and 2 planes, but then you have to exile it. So we get a rare, what the hell are these called? Can't think of it off the top of my head. You know what they are. Pretty expensive lands. Don't know if this one is. So 2 rare lands. And then just a bunch of regular lands. There's a swamp. That's strange. Maybe I missed one of the creatures having a swamp mana cost? Who knows? So, that is the deck. Actually, I might even just play this deck a couple times at my buddy's house. Not tonight, but looks like a pretty fun deck to play. And the sideboard. And you also get a nice little divider. Droid's Deliverance. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn, then populate. Actually, I'll keep these separate. 3 of those. There might be like one other rare in this sideboard. Or 2. Pacifism. We've seen this plenty of times. 2 of those, 3 of those, 4 of those. Sundering Growth. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, then populate. So it's all about populating. You might already just have 10 rares from the regular deck. Didn't keep track. Centaur Healer, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. So, not a super cool sideboard, but maybe there are cards that can help the deck. Rogue's Passage. Add 1 mana to your mana pool. And for 4 in a tap, target creature is unblockable this turn. So, that is a Magic the Gathering Dragon's Maze event deck. Leave a like, please subscribe for more content. Be sure to check out tomorrow's video because tomorrow I may start that booster box series. Never know, I will go to the LGS earlier in the day before I film, so we'll see what cool stuff I get. Until then, have a good night. Peace.